see any either.
Okay, motion to approve.
I still do.
I would second that motion.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Oh, I know.
Bill. Any committee reports?
No, Thursday I'll be attending the NECAP board meeting, and next Monday night, the Atchison County Health Department is hosting the multi-county health meeting. So I got those two coming up in the next business report.
Tomorrow.
We got Project Client Center tomorrow.
I had
Were you able to get the reports? I was able to get that.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Second we got from.
Yeah.
I got separate from that, I was emailing about that meeting at 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
EMS.
okay.
Yeah, I never saw, I looked through my stuff, I didn't, con.
First official report, or appointment of the surgeon.
Yeah, let's go look at this petition. For vacation.
This is from Pat prepared for you, Jesse.
Do it.
Pass.
Yeah,
Patterson.
he gave me the, kind of the outline, and then I just had to fill in legal description, the reason for vacate and everything like that.
Is the adjacent landowner?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on it.
He signed it.
He signed off on it?
Yep.
You just need our
Yep.
Take a motion to, sign the petition for vacation of road in Atchison County.
Yeah, old road number, the one it was put in was number 116. I don't think I put that on there, because I didn't know what you referred to it as.
Well, would it be on the 911 system?
Probably not.
Probably not, it's been
It's
vacated.
one that's got a.
You made a motion?
I would make a motion to accept the petition.
Yeah, it's for,
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any further discussion? Looks like it's between southwest and southeast quarter sections of section 8, township 6, that's probably 6 south, range 20 east.
Yeah, and you said, Pat will make sure it gets published, and then you're responsible for payment for publication. It's my understanding, a minimum of 21 days from the time of its publication, so,
You want to specify?
well, Pat.
I think Pat's going to do that.
Depends on whether it gets, if it has to get into go for tomorrow, why it could
Yeah, I
actually
think noon was the deadline in
be.
one day.
Okay.
And that was my understanding after
Okay.
we talked.
Well,
That's Saturday, probably.
Yeah, probably won't get it until Saturday.
Then that would be, let's see, Saturday night. I was gonna say the 12th, looks like the 12th of August is our next, that would be the,
Is it 21 days? No.
12th would
That'd
be
be my pleasure.
Yeah, 21 would be July 22nd. I mean, if you count backwards, so yeah, 15.
Barbara.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
The 12th would probably.
And the 12th will be a hearing to see if there's any objections to the stuff.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing.
if there's no objection, then you can proceed. It'll be declared, I think, I understand, be declared closed. Yeah, we dealt with, we had one of those about a year ago, and then we
You get
just
the
started
survey.
objections.
You get that? Works it out, I guess that's not either here.
No, that's, I mean, we still don't know where we're gonna build the fence, but we're trying to reach road closure, and then I'll feel comfortable pursuing one more, but, I guess I'll see the hearing time and the legal stuff.
I think we have to send you a copy of this representative.
Can't be said, can't be given time right now.
Do we have anything?
Well, we'll put it on the agenda. We can
Yeah,
put it on the
it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
And I'm probably in the legal notice in the paper too.
Correct. We'll have-
Should be that, or check the website, because on meeting agenda, like, it'll be on there with exactly what the time of the meeting is, so.
Okay.
Because we have for a special meeting, you want us to have a hearing, so just a formality.
What's your phone number, Jason?
370-2728.
Okay.
Got your hay all up?
We got 600 bales left, probably 200 to 300 to go.
We got our first ones back the other day.
We spent all last week hauling hay. We bought, 2 months ago, when the grass was real short, didn't look very good, maybe it's been 3 months ago, and it didn't look very good. We went and bought 400 bales. So we spent last week, we hauled 600 round bales home, is all we did last week, we didn't have nothing low to get with.
We've got in between Saturday, our banner just kept hiccup. The net wrap did not, it kept one of the wraps for some reason around the wrong order, and then the belt would come off, and took it, we started bailing at 12:30, I think we got maybe 65 bales between 12:30 and 9:30. Everybody thought it was crazy. Mark and I was following Chris's bailing. We would follow this field, west of Muskota, we would follow it every time, we'd make sure it was tied right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the notifications on?
Thanks, Jason.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yep.
You know,
He's got to be, he's part of the here.
Matt ain't coming?
I think he is, I just asked, he's got a field for some purchases. This is a neighbor of mine, and he's got issues with the timber, so it's too close.
Yeah, well, I just come up today because I want to, touch base with Matt, see where we're at here. But,
Okay, I'm texting.
You never know what he's gonna, come up.
oh, really? So how long you guys here?
We're here till we get business.
Till the work gets done?
Yeah.
I'd say probably average,
4
o'clock.
We're here anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours. Some days, we haven't been known to go to 5:30.
Wow, this first time, I think I come up with you here with your dad, but we met downstairs.
Yeah, they used to meet downstairs.
Yeah, we come up here one time.
Or in the driver's license.
Yeah. That's where it was at. Oh, I thought I could catch him, he's not always too easy to catch out there, he's man, the guy's a busy guy,
Mhm.
so. I won't, burden you with my presence, I'll move along.
Oh, okay.
We can see if I can see it fast.
Yes. Or be out there, or whatever one.
Well, I don't want to stir the waters up here. Like I say, I thought Matt would be here, and I was wanting to.
Hey, you could be walking in the door, once you
Yeah.
see where he's at.
Yeah, we seen his truck parked down in the restaurant parking lot, so we figured.
Well, if he's gonna be here, within 30 minutes or an hour or something like that, but I don't, my situation, it ain't no big deal.
Yeah, but your time is worth something.
Pardon me?
Your time is worth something.
Well, only to me.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, you coming up with do your PO, the guy up here wants to talk to you, okay. Oh, you had that pretty soon, well. All right, we'll just wait then, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Mike, for doing that.
No problem. He'll answer the phone.
Huh?
I said he will answer the phone.
I'm sure he will.
This is Martin Paxton, this is Commissioner Mike Bowden.
Hi, Mike.
And Chairman Jeff Shearer.
Hi, Jeff.
Martin Paxton.
I've been a member of the Atchison County community for 45 years. Of course, I don't bother nobody bothers me, right, Willie?
Well, Willie, we called you the wrong name then, huh?
Well, maybe I screwed up, I might have made a mistake, but I've known him since he was a teenager.
Your request is denied, Martin.
I've known him since, I've known his grandpa, his dad.
My kids, your kids.
Yeah. So,
He just lives down the hill from Charlie, if you know where Charlie is, just go down the hill there, towards the bottom. Charlie Field, just the whole place. We don't live down in Howard.
Yeah.
That's he's home place.
yeah, well, don't feel bad if you don't know about it, because most people go down the hill, close their eyes by the time they get down there by my place.
I don't think I tried anything, I've been to where you're originally.
You ain't missing nothing. It's probably the worst piece of land in Atchison County.
Oh, I tell you, when it rains,
Oh.
land can produce too.
Well, I'll tell you, I got all kinds of stories about rain and snow. One time I was going in my driveway and I had some concrete, I had a little S10 pickup, if you don't mind me telling the story, I don't want to get in the middle of nobody's business. And, I don't know, I got it, my driveway's gotten kind of narrow over the years from water running over and stuff like that, and so I got in there and this little old S10, it just jumped to the right and went over the side and went down over that little gully, and fortunately enough, my good neighbor there, up the road, I got with a four-wheel drive tractor, he happened to come along, hailed me down, he pulled me out, or I'd have lost my whole truck. But that's what friends and neighbors are good for, they help you out when you need them.
Exactly. We could approve the historical society request.
Yes. Jerry Henry's.
What?
Jerry Henry's.
Oh,
you're talking.
The donation, did you, no, we can do
Well, you son of a gun, you come in here.
well, hold on, let me see what.
the donation of an agreement made back in
See that you better.
2005, they were to keep it for 5 years, and now they want us to strictly sell it, and that was the last page. Yes, that's it.
Get a motion to approve, Atchison County Storage Society request of tree sewer, property owned by T.
Yes, now it's reference to South Dakota.
So there's no record number. There's no record number. Stems from 2005, Atchison County Historical Society loan agreement.
But this is what they want you to do.
Correct.
That's Southern Hamlet, Chairman.
Second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Only you have a record, you looked at pretty good record.
Yeah, probably.
He's off like, this is basically what they want to stop.
So you need to sign that.
No, we
Signature on it. Just give me one, after just one, or give me one, and, oh.
Yep, that's the original.
And just send it to him, or take it, okay?
Grandma's house.
Drop it off. I'll just sign it.
Pauline, did Mrs. Roper get ahold of you? Or Jeff Williams? She emailed me about a legal survey, and I told her that the commissioners would be more than happy to listen to her concerns for her grandson, but the final say would be up to Roger Denton and Jim Lapping. She said that she might do that, but if she didn't get a hold of you, I said, to get a hold of you, if otherwise, you just come up and got like 5 minutes to talk, so. She didn't get a reference. She must have decided, maybe she talked to Jim herself, I don't know.
Or just a discrepancy on her property?
Yeah, you know, the survey was wrong, and she was selling it to her grandson, and the survey, the description didn't match up to the deed or something.
Oh,
She didn't want to pay to have a legal survey. She thought the county should do that.
Have you talked to Ray Ladd about, or Spider, about postponing delaying the parade for half an hour because of elections?
Thanks for the kids.
Have you talked to Spotty about coming sometime planning, because every time I see it,
Well,
he hits me
I
about
thought
wood.
Pauline was gonna call him, we were gonna call him about the parade, I told him to ask him if he wanted to come up about the fair. Because he said they've been talking about something about, last year we give them a little bit of money for fair maintenance account, so they're gonna do the roof. And I think they're not proceeding with that, so when we need to add this, whether we need to help them or whatever, so that he needs to come up and make a request.
talked to Roger on,
Oh,
I
man.
guess that's, relaying it, it is on that today.
Okay.
And then, we said,
All right.
not Friday, but
All right.
Okay.
not Friday, just there.
Okay. All right.
Make this easy on you and myself if I can.
Okay.
All right. So,
All right, have a good one.
nice to see you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't see you, I don't see you, you know.
Well, I
and,
am usually,
sometimes somebody done something up there, I've seen me coming out or something.
thanks.
I don't wait to see you.
Bye.
They knew me, see. That's good to see you, man. Take care of yourself. Just make tell them I said hi.
Fire busy, is he?
He's in the hayfield.
He's in the hay.
Here, Bill.
He says his driveway entrance is actually on your property. His driveway entrance is actually on your property. Well, we were running in there, right inside his gate, there's a culvert that goes across the road, and it's washing out on the bottom side there. I was thinking, when we was down there, I think there were a couple of those rock in there. He said it was actually yours, but right, yeah. Yeah, I was actually working there last time. We went down there. Yeah. Yeah, there's several places down there that need some. Did you happen to go? I took the loader up there and just tried to straighten it up a little bit. I mean, it still needs more, but the grader is done a little bit, but I took the loader up there and tried to switch back to the ditches.
Yeah, that was okay.
Matt, did you go down with that too? I looked at it, and I think.
Which two we're talking about?
Martin's too.
Yeah, I went down with that.
And that, when it rains like that, a bunch of that grass stuff and plugged it up and it went over his road, and he recently rocked that, and I think that's what his big concern is, but I didn't see much damage, it was a little worse than on the side.
Yeah, he stopped by the shop, I went down there and looked at it, and, I told him the next time we're down there, we got, quite a bit of work to do on that road, we're hauling some rip right down there, so we try to, build that up a little bit on the south side there, so it's a little bit better for him to get in there.
You could use a little ripper out there, right, west of Long South, that first one, slopes off.
We actually put some in there the other day.
No, west about.
Oh, just,
About a block.
You know where you Okay. I'll look at it. Yeah, there's several places in there where I have well, we've got several places.
If I knew when the graders, I took that Bobcat, and I could get you about 2 loads of rock that's went over to my pasture, and I put it back over the road and do something with it.
Wes is scheduled at 1:30.
Did you have something for me, Mike?
I just told you.
Do you just have like a first order, or you have?
I just got a few,
Yeah, let's go ahead and get it out.
Yeah, it's, got a PO here for, one new chainsaw and the chainsaw parts, a total of $644.90. How about that chainsaw the day after that last big storm? We just run around and could use an extra one, and, all the chainsaws there at the shop we've got are all 290s, and they actually quit making 290s. And I was down, that was the last one we had, and I went ahead and got it, so it would match. That day, all the parts.
Have you
all
heard,
the
have you heard anything from Adrian Builders? Because I was told that a bunch of trees come down, the county cut them up, throw them on the fence, and I didn't go by and look at it, I was.
The trees were on his property and blew across this fence onto the road. We went down and cut them right at the fence line and piled them up in our right of way. We're gonna go down and haul what was in the road off. But, no, we didn't throw them like that, they blew on the fence from his property, so. Yeah, I heard that rumor too, and I was like, no, not quite how it happened, but.
I haven't seen Steve Simmons about fixing the wheels out on the shed. Talk to you, Steve, well, I don't know, I'll find that real quick.
Yeah, when we get time, right now, we just pile them there in the ditch. Well, if you drive down Sherman Road, you'll see where it's at. There's just like a quarter mile up there, a little microburst or something. Right there. Just really easy, yeah.
How's the green,
Yeah, there's a need, each agency needs.
so that's the level between the city and. How many injections to the interlocal agreement?
Which one?
The interlocal agreement, are you not?
It's in a text.
That's for the administration of it. So myself, Connie, and Kim Pruitt will have using the password for the account. And I don't know who will be there.
And so the methods that, so like, when it issues warnings or whatever, it's doing it through text or iMessage or,
Well, for the weather,
yeah.
which is one type of contract, which I'll pay a UBG grant, it will send out an app that's on your phone,
Okay.
text or phone call or email.
And a person signs up how?
You don't get to sign up, you use the 911 database
Oh.
for emergent, and then as far as signing up for non-emergent, which there'll be a lot of non-emergent stuff, we'll put a link on our website, and the city will put a link on their website, $3,500 of that is for the weather, which is countywide, which is not LPG. 1,800 is for our, amount of population that's out in the county. And 6,300 of their budget is for the population in the city. Probably so. Once you pay a little less.
Will the sirens that you're gonna replace, will they share any of that cost as well, or not? They're all out, like every year?
Yes.
Okay.
They're all owned by the county.
Okay.
In other counties, cities have their own, but in this county, they're all owned by the county, so. Yeah. You don't have different entities trying to do different things that way, so.
Yeah, the only question I have is it is a three, it doesn't cost sharing for 3 years, does it? I don't know whether there's anything specific in the agreement that says this agreement is good for 3 years.
Yes, you'll see that. I think I should hand this to you first. This is the contract for the emergency weather, which is for 3 years, and this is the contract for the notifications and everything else, which is also 3 years.
A lot more reading on this.
There is a lot more reason than that.
Yeah, and I've had some concerns about it, we went back and forth, and they made a couple of changes to it, but they really don't promise to do very much. They don't promise that their service works, if it doesn't work, we're still stuck with it, they won't fix it, if we harm, if something, operations harm their database, we're responsible for it, if they wipe out our entire system because of their negligence, they're not responsible. It's a very one-sided agreement. That said, it may be worth entering into. That version does have, the language in there allowing you to get out of the Kansas cash basis law, by not appropriating funds, but that's the only change that they were willing to make. I really don't understand why they would not be proud enough of their product to say our product will work. Or if it doesn't, they're going to cancel, but they're not. And so, that's catch-22 you're stuck in.
Indiana counties have
Lots
lots of counties.
And we have got
Issues.
our Homeland Security group is actually looking about changing over to that now. Another problem with doing it for Homeland Security is they have to do it every year, take bids every year. So you could be changing 1 year from Code Red and the next to IRS and then over to, I can't remember the third company, we're getting people to sign up every year, you're not gonna do. So a lot of the counties just went out and purchased it for their county alone, so they don't have to worry about changing. And then Homeland Security was looking to buy 1,000 licenses for each county. Well, that wouldn't do anything for us. That was 17,000 authorization. So, yeah, Henderson County, Morris County, Keveenaw County, Marshall County, Jefferson County, they're all 50 states. We haven't had any problems. The reason they won't guarantee that their stuff will work 24/7, 365 is because if your cell phone tower goes down around you, you don't have Wi-Fi, you aren't getting alerts. I mean, you're cut off. I mean, so they can't guarantee that you'll get alerts. They can't mess up anything on ours. What we can do is send them a copy of our database for our 911 numbers. So this one can actually get into our database and send them a copy of it. So they can't mess up anything on our end.
Well, what Pat said, kind of scared me, but I guess.
Not worried about it. None of the other counties I've been talking to have a problem with it.
So that would be considered act of God, that's probably why they don't
Yeah.
guarantee.
With a 3-year contract, but we would make 3 yearly installments. You don't do it all at once, we'll do. Separate whole contracts into 3 payments. And that's been what we're doing as also. We did several times.
Is this in your budget, county people?
The 1,800 comes out of county general, is the way you said you do it, and then you want to come here, a month ago, no matter what. And then the 3,500 will come out of the PG.
Even the PG grant.
What do they define as a system then?
Do I?
What do they define as a system then?
When you're making phone calls, they bill by the second. So, we get 27,000 minutes,
250,
and, yeah.
annually.
And this looks like we were getting close to going over what our allotment is, but we got this, since you not meet at all. We'll be able to track how much the city uses and how much the county uses.
That's the only hidden cost you see is that you go over the minutes.
But that'll work with the first 3 years to make sure that we're in our allotment, just like a copier contract. We could have sat in the dark of what we thought we would use, and we were lucky that it was right on the money, but if this isn't, we'll just down the road.
No questions for Ross? Got one signature, so I need a motion, authorization to sign into interlocal agreement between the City of Ashland, Kansas and Ashland County for shared emergency notification system.
So moved.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any discussions? 3-0.
Now I have to approve this other contract.
We need to approve these separate, or these?
That's two separate contracts.
Okay.
One's for emergency weather notifications, and the other one's for utility.
Okay, the motion to approve the code red weather warning service is done.
So, Mr. Chairman.
Second that.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Further discussion? 3-0.
That's placed in two signatures.
Yeah.
Originally, we were gonna have the county and the city sign both contracts, and then put it in, said, no, you guys are in their local agreements. You can't, and then they took those second lines off.
So just need one signature.
The city's already met and accepted it.
Yeah, well, that's under trade copy threshold, and so their commission didn't have to approve.
Motion for the, approve the code red next services.
Move to approve that contract.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, 3-0.
How effective is that going
I'll take it down this week to have check signed, and I'll mail them off to Code Red, and they will set up, training for us, which will be at least 2 weeks out, because I can't schedule it before then, get it on my schedule. They'll come in now, do the training, and get it all set up, give it a month,
item CIC, are we still within the threshold of training, or is there starting to be a charge?
We've got charge for Janine coming, $1,500 to help us do payroll and everything. Nothing else. We'll be having a retraining done for budget prep and for personnel and for the application that we did. We did not charges for that though. They did charges for the,
How comfortable are you with payroll?
you think it's not hard? I mean,
Courtney's catching on, Lynn's catching on, and
Corey didn't sit in last time, it was just me and Linda last time because trying to fit 4 people around the computer is impossible. So this time Courtney and Linda are sitting in front of the computer and I'm just behind them, we're going to it. So, pretty comfortable with what you've seen so far?
It's really easy, yeah.
The fun part is when everybody changes, the change to everybody pay period.
there's that much change?
Yeah, it's not change.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think there was.
Between garnishments and meal credit and,
Terminated employees.
terminated employees, people are getting insurance, but because of the 60-day waiting period for employees to get insurance and, yeah. There's a lot of turnover up there, so.
But it's your responsibility up there to get those changes to you.
Yes.
And she gets them all.
You get all those,
Mhm.
you get them in a timely fashion, so it's not the,
Usually that week, she brings them in, so she's pretty fast about it.
do you get yours?
Sometimes it's with payroll.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's quite a few changes, as far as your insurance and, you know, papers and all that doesn't change, the computer does that for you. But all the,
Well, and you're probably still getting some bonus payments that, notices from people who have procrastinated and not done the wellness portion to get their extra credit line. That's probably still coming in.
they were on the last pay period, last payroll, so, yeah. Yeah, for it. So, I'm not sure, yeah, I mean, you saw that coming into it. And then, employees changing their HSA contributions, when that happens every payroll, it's like, oh, I want to put $50 on this line, which is paying the part payroll, so.
Interesting.
But
Do we need to go as far as saying, okay, you signed up for this, this is, the amount's gonna be for 6 months, or do you give them that freedom? If there's that many
part of the
changes.
HSA, you get the, it's a versatile.
Yeah.
How common is that? I don't think it's very common for people to change HSA
I
contributions.
would think it would be.
Flexible spending accounts, you could never do that because it's set, because you have to predetermine
Something
your.
you do it as a policy that,
But,
I think like
What's the other one, so,
IRS.
that one, you.
IRS is gonna regulate you on some of that. You're talking about tax application.
Yeah, but with that one,
Sure.
you just have, $2,500 in this rest of the year, and you can spend it immediately, and then it reimburses that, where an HSA does fire money.
But it's still IRS regulated. It's a
We should find out,
pre-tax
I'm not sure.
So that,
defined plan.
when they decide to add another $150, is that free tax money? To take it out, means in other words, so then you have to change the FICA.
Well, manually calculate the FICA.
The program,
Just does
That's
that.
not much.
the computer should, if you enter in the correct gross figure, it should figure. Then I got a program or a similar to that on my farm management system. As long as you put the, and if you want it, now you can, in our system, if you decide you want to deduct more for federal income tax, you can add that to it. I mean, some people like to definitely overpay so they get that rebate check.
Right here.
Everybody can just do that.
I don't ever want to pay it, so I'd rather take too much out now and get some back later. So, yeah. I will check on that to see, because I know some other companies that are dealing with, USD on HSA and see what their protocols are for that. It would be less of a headache if you could only change it, 6 months.
Yeah.
So,
What day is Mike Keller coming up next week?
month before.
Is he just meeting with,
So,
No, it'd be thought it was you guys.
We've got one meeting on, at 1 o'clock, one at 3 at Team Village, so I didn't send anything else, I didn't know what it was.
I was thinking that he was wanting to meet with the commissioners plus the committee.
I didn't know that. Although it
We might
was,
have to, we should send out for department heads.
Yeah, they need to be all be notified, because I was asked today about the deeds when he's coming up. And I thought it was the 16th and 21st.
Yeah, I think.
I thought 2 bad days.
I think the committee needs to meet with them, the commission will need to make, iron out anything. See, this is the first year of the program, gotta get an analysis of where we're at, what we need to
yeah.
change or look at, or possibility changes.
I think you're running, did I talk to you about running some reports? Okay.
We don't have that out, so that I can run most of the reports. We have some checks that we found on his desk, but we're still waiting for a report to be built for us from CIC, so we can see live checks or what they were. Because right now, he's in front of the report that went up, and you can't go back without a lot of headache. So,
Yeah.
they're building the reports where we'll be able to print out the past checks where,
Okay.
so we can send them in.
Did you get Shelley to take care of her in there with her? She had all this stuff.
Well, they're still, they got their extension, and do you know where Linda and Mark are? They're about the mid of June.
No problem.
So they have Meg, Meg is done and balanced, community corrections, and, Linda and Mark are
In the middle of June,
mid-June,
reconciling,
and there's,
with that problem. Can't go forward.
so Janine's working with them on
I
that,
say there is problems.
There, well, it's
with the balancing problem.
balancing and something coming over.
Yeah. So Janine from CSC is working with them on that. And as soon as they get that done, they'll be able to get current, and then,
Everyone's speaking.
yeah, they're right about that. And then, once they get balanced for the month of June, then she'll go balance on there, so. Which we've been taking their money out correctly. They have 3 accounts, and split 50% one account, 30% another account, 30% another account. That wasn't happening, but now it is, so it'll be easier for her balance. So we'll keep on that.
Did you ever check into why they haven't got a telephone bill for 3 or 4 months now? Some other departments paying it. Did you find it?
I made lots of changes.
We got it all fixed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's almost like they was telling us, but they just want to keep on going like it was going.
Yeah.
Well, I was never told that, community corrections, it was the 50/20/30. I was just putting it all in one account for her. And I never knew that until he had come in and told me that, so we had to change all that. And then I think you guys were getting charged for a bill that you weren't supposed to be getting charged for.
Yeah, we got the AT&T figured out, so I went back to March was probably back, right?
Yeah, the beginning of March.
And we credit everybody's account for March, April, May, and rebuild them. It should be.
Simplified once we get totally switched over.
It'll be on now. Everything's just so it'll be your payment or each monthly bill is this and never changes.
Right, there's change, but there's no long distance.
Correct.
Yeah.
No long distance.
That's where we-
You know that.
And that's one thing I didn't like about it.
It's easy to budget for, instead of, my phone bill could be $10,000 this year, it could be $15,000, so. It's that rate always goes. So, we're still working, Holly's been working on, Country and, where's the right one done, what's the other one?
I just got finished with this, Aetna.
To make sure that's right.
Papers, and
Papers.
this,
So, we're getting through that, just take a little bit of time and try to figure out what was done prior and we try to do it, so. Anyway.
We're still, we're a little bit, we're not that far off schedule, I think.
No, we're not getting late for your penalty. She's been mailing out, since account payable has been pushing every week. I mean,
It's
she
been
flies
perfect.
through it, everything's
I
been
usually
perfect.
get it all sent out Tuesday instead of Wednesday. And I haven't had one phone call of anybody mad or nothing.
Yep.
It's been perfect.
You gotta turn your phone off, Court.
Should two phones,
Yeah.
should two phones now, so, yeah, I haven't heard any complaints. Just people complaining about the journal issues where we need to go back and fix stuff, but nothing for the last.
Where are we at with, when do we need to address this, if not all departments are in, it's like supposed to?
Yesterday.
It's a mess.
That's a simple subject.
Mhm.
So, the court might have come down last week for this,
And she's not happy.
and I mentioned to her that each department was supposed to, clean their bills, and that they needed help with that, something help them. She wasn't too keen on that, so then she
Not
went
at
up a
all.
week later to ask
And-
about some stuff.
So they wanna know what bills are going out, what bills are getting paid, but they don't wanna have to put those in. Wouldn't that be half of knowing where?
Well, what you showed me,
There you
the
go.
form they gotta fill out, if they do it manually, just to come down, then for you guys to enter.
It takes less time for them to enter it.
Yeah, if they did it themselves on the computer, it's already in there.
Mhm.
I can
That's
go
what
and
doesn't
talk
make
to
no
her.
sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, to me, was the beauty, I mean, all the other things that I kinda liked about it, and then that way they're the ones that's accountable to tell each account that is to be paid to, if the error is made, if their error is not some independent person.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think that she'd have any bills.
She doesn't.
Oh,
Maybe like,
I'll talk to her again.
maybe like 12 to 16, not many, but,
That's not your,
mhm.
Did
Yeah, that's right.
But those aren't hard to do, I don't mind doing them. And I think I'm the only one who has access to do those on CIC. The hand checks,
No, no.
because you
those
don't,
would be handshakes.
for the jury,
Huh?
Those are hand checks.
those are hand checks. Those, it's completely different than the accounts payable side. It's in a whole different category and section and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, you can still do the hand checks, if that was a big.
Yeah, there is not a big deal.
But accounts payable is, she does, there wouldn't be any mistakes, there wouldn't be, she brings bills down, just lays them on her desk.
And then
she's
for
like,
Brad, that's the one that she was, I think, the most mad about is, I get bills from Brad from the county attorney and from her. So when you just bring a paper and put it on my desk, I don't know if it's supposed to go to county attorney or to district court. So I had given it to a district court and it was supposed to go to county attorney, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
See, that's where your coding comes in,
Mhm.
our coding is right there, and it goes where it's supposed to go.
Correct. Right.
So that's why me and this are that.
I will talk to her again. Not today, though. Today's payroll.
Yeah. That's what it is.
I'll need like, call me and look up this.
Do you need these back?
I do. Yeah, Friday, which came today. It's for Marley's support, which is our tax system. It's a yearly support that is budgeted.
3,052.50.
That's the one that had issues with, they ever get, or well.
Yeah, we've got it all, because that's why we had to pay the 18,000 last year.
Well, that's the reason I asked is because I knew it was withholding, because we got all the bugs worked out of it.
Yep.
What's the total amount on that annually? Is it 11,000?
Comes out of the district.
6320 for the city and 5540 for us.
Now, is this something that we're gonna add to the budget you guys already? You already had it included in that?
Well, the EMPG money, well, that's come out, so we get that. We get that every year, but that's where I budget, where I plan to pay that out every year.
He hadn't heard back yet.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was doing, looking on there, that if you're getting grants and stuff are getting a little hard to come by. 2007, 2008, when Allen County was consolidating their ambulance force, they had a $307,000 grant. And then they decided not to do anything. They went,
Really?
they went, yeah, I called the guy, I said, okay, you know, and, he got mad, yeah, then, I think, hell with it. They went from inability to build a building, spent a couple $100,000. And then now they got that building, went somewhere. Because the city's cooking for you, who's gonna,
Yeah.
how,
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa's a primary city, and that's where the hospital is. And they wanted it, and the original was gonna be just out, it's 5 miles. They bought the land, they paid $75,000 for 3 acres of land or something, just outside, yeah, it was
Wish I owned it,
ridiculous.
guy, that's really good.
In a little town called the Colony or something like that. Yeah, I mean, 5 miles outside of Iowa, no real business.
So what happens if that does go through? Do you call that architect back, or do you, if you get the financing to get that architect signature for the city, do you call the architect back?
Well, I'm talking to Potawatomi County because they've been on out, and they basically told the bidders, you have to get the architect. That's part of your bid. That way, if you reject our bids, they're
You
responsible.
reject that, so.
Makes them get a little more down there.
Okay, smart, I know it's an option.
Yeah, what they call those like soft costs, is that what they technically call them?
Yeah, I called, because I knew that Potawatomi County had built a new one in Robert Reese, who had visited with time or two with some other issues, and so I talked to him, and he said, yeah, that's the way, they've been just about any of their projects out that way now.
Smart.
Yeah,
And they do.
because when it's independent, you're locked, I mean, you're locked in the sand.
That's supposed to be that, that's basically just in that contract,
Yeah.
if you do it or not.
There's no guarantee of the quality of work, so.
And do we have electronic copies of the design we have, or?
Well, I don't know if we got it, but we're, it's part of the agreement.
Did we get those back yet, Pat? Or do you know?
I'm sorry, I was reading an email.
On the EMS building, did we get all copies of?
Electronic files of the
Electronic
architect's work.
No, we don't have the electronic files. In the electronic files, there's a, Wes might have a workaround for it, but they link to something on their server, every file does, and so the only electronic copies that they can provide to somebody are like the PDF drawings in electronic format. They're not the,
Not the iPad.
Right.
Which is not a problem. I mean, they can record PDFs in their system.
Right, that's what he's told me that they, and he's offered to provide those, and he's also, he also said that, you should have the hard copies, that Colleen should have
We
gotten a
do.
copy. Do you have a copy of the Harlan's?
I have a small copy because I didn't want to pay the $350 for it, but she has a large set in her house.
Yeah.
What are you smiling for?
Yeah, I have one. I'm like,
She has a full
I have
set
a book and a.
and the book, and then I have a smaller copy that was a lot cheaper.
Yeah, we ought to, for future reference, make sure that we get about a half dozen copies of those, full sets of plans and electronic copy of
If you're getting electronic, why wouldn't you just hold electronic?
Well, we should get,
Well,
if it would've went through all of the
Then you
people
order
that
them out,
did,
and
we
you
would've
try
got
as is, I mean.
their copies back, because we paid for it.
I'm just thinking like you
So
need,
they got a copy, they got.
you got a lot of copies of your documents.
well, 50 years from now, somebody's looking for it, they may not, I don't know whether the technology will work, the paper will still work. So I kind of like having a paper one, but.
As long as you preserve it, as long as you
Sure.
preserve it, I mean, I've seen
Sure.
where we stored stuff here that doesn't look preserved for.
Sure.
Yep. So, you got any more questions for me?
Phones, are we supposed to get rid of these open ones?
Not yet. Those aren't so settled yet, but they're working. You can call any office in the county. You just can't call out.
Okay.
So we will be training those. And those new people and stuff like that. So, our account manager changed twice now. So, they sure are still working with it. But,
How long would it be, I guess, until you get them up fully going for AT&T rebates?
I'm really yellow, so.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, yeah, I mean, I know they're gonna drag the feet of those
I mean,
there.
our sales rep is still the same one,
Okay.
which is who we'll be doing the crediting. Our, when I say account manager, I mean our technical account manager, or the person that's changed 3 times. And so,
The guy,
credits is
the
coming
guy
from-
that you got,
we gave some time on.
the guy that helped install and stuff, right?
Correct. But our financial account manager is still Elizabeth Tree, so that's what's been.
And that would be fun, there would be a lack of, well, they didn't tell me that.
Yep. Yep. She's been here and she'll come again and she's, I don't remember the lady we used to have down there, but she would never answer the phone or return emails or phone calls. And Elizabeth finally was on the phone instantly, so.
And you said there'd be, each office will have one of these, I mean, in event of a internet shutdown and stuff.
If there ever shut down, which has to be something catastrophic for that to happen, you still have that also.
Backlogs.
Backlights.
Never still talking.
And this whole town without power for 72 hours, then, yeah, nothing. Because that's all, both companies are required to stay, so. Alright.
Do you know if Chase got that straightened out about giving those 2 checks to Deckenbaum, and supposedly they called Deckenbaum, and Deckenbaum says we just can't credit you, you're gonna have to take it off your monthly bill, and Stacy mentioned to me that it would be 10 years to get the money back. I think it was 18 months.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So. Anything about that?
I've never, this is the first time I've heard about it.
Figured, so.
Apparently we have 2 accounts, one to haul off recycles and one to haul off
Trash.
trash. Well, they wrote 2 checks for 18,000 to haul the trash off for recycle. One of the, so then they, when they caught it, they tried to straighten it out, and they called Deckenbaum, and Deckenbaum says we just can't credit you back. You're, you know, so Stacy says.
See, I think one of them I put in, they do, they put in the recycle. It's not that
Stacy
much.
said we get 10 years or 15 years for whatever got our money back. And this is after my review.
They can't just send back the check?
She said that she called somebody down there and they couldn't.
Yeah.
We'll talk to them about that.
There's 18,000.
Nobody can hold
Yeah.
$18,000.
Yeah, that's what.
Can't they,
I was gonna say, can they
can't
have
they
one
just take it
account?
out of their one
Right.
account and put it into
Yeah.
our trash removal account?
Sure they could.
I think that's what they was wanting to do, and they said they couldn't do that.
Why not? It's just
I have no
something
idea.
like we do.
Exactly, it's a lot simpler, it's probably,
Once that
Who do
money's
you
shut
talk
off, they
to?
don't wanna give it away.
Yeah,
you may have to go a step higher than what it.
I'll call them and find out.
Talk to Stacy about that, I think she might be, well, Chase would know too, Stacy is on the phone about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll call them, find out, see what we can do.
See if we can get that straightened out.
Alright. Have a good day.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thanks for back at our house and digging the air, that's good.
Hope I'm making that.
Yeah.
I'll be out there, I wish I was there today, I'll be out there from 9 o'clock Friday morning till 2 AM, and then 9 o'clock Saturday morning till 2 AM. So, love my job. Have a great day.
Accounts payable, or what do we have?
And then I think this the sheet that you were on, let me just say something about it.
you get this?
Yes. This is showing what they spent out of budget.
Yeah, I'll need that.
Because there's nothing else in this package that you need.
Thank you.
What position was that on?
Senior village.
Oh. Well,
Courtney, how much was that though? Requisition?
$4,225.
$4,000,
$225.
and what?
It was a therapy equipment or something, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
still,
No, that's what they use.
Yeah.
Go back into the
Yeah.
box.
And, this is something we don't see every time, maybe quarterly or something like that. I don't see this.
Yeah, well, I think that's just for, this period,
Okay.
like this week. And I'm still trying to figure out where I can get like the quarterly and whatnot, so.
Yeah, I like this. This is kind of like the old system. It says what, their budget was and how much money they've used, what they got left, so we can kind of keep track of their, starting to get going over a little bit. Good, pretty good shape.
Is this a quarterly or is this monthly?
Yeah.
It's a monthly.
Yes.
Okay. But I was gonna say, looking here, the Clayton County attorney, 22,000, that's, his budget's way more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's prorated out on a monthly basis.
Right, and there are options for us to get pretty much however we want to get it, but we're waiting on Janine, I think is her name. 'Cause I don't know how to get to any of that, so. But it can be that hard to get.
Yeah, that's enough to get me real quick. Couple, it's not working for very much, $22,000. Well, this is a monthly,
He doesn't have very many bills, because I enter his bills too, and
Yeah.
he maybe has like 3 or 4 every week.
right, yeah, I understand, but
But it's
still,
salary,
the
yeah.
salary.
Salary.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's the other from Good City.
You got, what, 3 secretaries?
That's two.
2 secretaries, yeah.
And one's less than full-time, one's full-time and time, maybe it's full-time.
Jody's bringing in that.
He was here, but he didn't give stuff.
Purchase orders for concrete works here.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Oh, he had.
Those are probably all really sitting on.
He apparently didn't get an answer from, or something.
He came back up. He was here for this thing. Last night, I just thought we'd make a little on those. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's Marshall, yeah.
Oh, wait, there'll be 3 more here.
Huh?
There's 3 more here, purchase orders, for concrete work right here.
I wonder if we found out about Carly Motor up there.
Well, apparently he didn't get a response that they were interested, because he had 3 bids. It's not as if it wasn't, okay?
This is on sidewalk repair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And curb,
Make a wheelchair system.
ADA compliant. Concrete repairs to sidewalks and road frontage. Yeah, law enforcement.
You know, he said there's one thing out here that he talked to Brad about, that we can look at that, I was worried about something.
they let you keep these coupons repairs, so
There's always so many. She has crazy amount of them.
Oh, that's pretty good on there.
there is a yogurt put on there. I cut it out all the time.
You
That may mess up your.
Have to make a copy of the bill.
Here we go. One more signature.
Did you read the $232?
Yeah, these are all the same. She does.
She gets
Thank you,
it too.
guys.
Courtney gets these.
But Pauline needs to record it. She needs to record the house and stuff.
We got that race coming up, so that's good.
Yeah, that's the work on John Street.
This is cost share in the city.
To the project.
Yeah, it's a share.
To the project.
We're paying half of the one and they,
Not bad.
and actually the city's paying for all, and we're just reimbursing the city.
Oh, except for one is.
Oh, except for one is all.
65, 35.
No, 50. No, you're on the sidewalks. Are you talking about the roads? Yeah, okay. Yeah, sidewalks, the
And we don't pay that until it's finished, right? Does she know that? Don't pay it?
on,
Do we pay it now, or do we have to wait?
I guess that's Joe. I don't believe you paid until,
I mean, she says she knows that not to pay it. Well, I'll tell her when I get home,
okay.
just to hold on.
Charlie got anything?
Yeah, I got a couple of things here that I just picked up today. I'll wait for Mike to get back here. I guess the first question I want to ask is, what's, Mr. Lanner, I think you referred to him as Wes Lanner. What's his title and his job description?
IT director and emergency management director.
He's what?
Yeah, IT director and emergency management director.
Okay.
Two.
Well, the reason I ask is, why is he involved with the paying the bills? He was involved with the financial there just a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that fall in?
In his IT department, he's helping them to make sure that we're getting the corrections made and getting the employees how to do it.
our new software system, the CIT system, he and Kyle, we also have another IT individual that they've been since the beginning of the implementation of CIT, and so they've gone through probably the most training out of anybody, and so.
They've been training everything.
Yeah, understanding the system, so he's been helping out multiple departments with.
But the comment, the way it was made right there, when you was addressing, or you guys were addressing and everything, it had to do, or it came across as it had to do with when you guys had hired this county coordinator. The problems were falling on him, from him. Is that correct?
You might explain, I'm trying to follow you,
Well,
the problems created, or,
yes. Apparently, the problems that you were trying to straighten out there are problems that were caused by the county coordinator that was hired by you, right? Is that correct?
Some of it is, and some of it isn't.
Some of it is, and some of it is just people not learning, they haven't totally learned the system yet. It's a combination, yes.
Well, I guess one question I want to ask, because this is something, since I'm out there in the public now. Is there, or has there been, apparently bills that weren't paid, credit card bills that weren't taken care of, and accounts that weren't paid, insurances and stuff?
insurances like,
Yeah.
well, it's retirement,
Well, capers,
pension,
pensions,
yeah.
were they not paid?
There's been, you know, we have found irregularities we were finding where there was stuff that was either paid or maybe it was an incorrect amount, or, I mean, as far as we know to date, everything's been squared up. I think with most lenders, I think maybe only was talking about capers a little bit, but as to our knowledge, I believe everything's been, you know, pretty much paid that we could, you know, to our best ability that we know. I mean, everything's been caught up, so.
So how long did this go on? People are asking that, how long did this go on?
Quote me if I'm wrong, fellow commissioner, but I think this went on before Chris Channel, and then it went on after Chris Channel. Am I right or wrong there?
Well, there'd been a time or two that there'd been bills, because stuff wasn't credited right. I mean, your credit card thing, when there's 3 or 4 different accounts, and they send them a check to Walmart doesn't know which account, they just credit to where, I had the same problem with Westar. If you don't specifically write one check for each account that you've got, they ain't smart enough to figure out that you're paying all 3 bills. And so I ended up having 2 delinquent accounts and only 1 prepaid. Even though I had all the stubs in there, I sent 1 check and 3 stubs. They decided, I'm gonna credit this account. Now, other 2 are delinquent. And this is what's happened on credit, it can happen when you have 3 or 4 different credit card accounts.
Multiple
That's-
departments.
That's,
Multiple departments,
right,
yeah.
involved departments having.
Well, the reason I was asking that is because, you know, I have multiple accounts with Westar too. And I put the numbers right on the checks, I've never had any problems.
If you
Never.
put the number right on the checks, right.
Yeah, and the stubs are in there too. But,
But you write a separate check for each account.
no,
Mhm.
told me absolutely not, do not do that. That's what Westar advised me. Said, all you need to do is.
Well, they accepted my check that way, that's the one that they accepted.
But, okay, so, but as far as, taxes for employment, they're all current?
I believe so, as best we know.
That's the way at this point.
Well, I mean, how did this, I guess the question I need to ask, because this is a question that's coming up, how did this get out of hand so far?
Well, I mean, you have a combination of things. You have number one, you have a new software system. You know, number two, you've got new personnel, and then, you know, as far as the third thing, you know, as far as communication between, you know, departments in the system, it's a pretty big, I won't say perfect storm, but it was, you know, it was a tough time. I mean, it's difficult on all fronts for everybody to be on the same page with something like that, with some major changes.
Okay, Danny, you brought up a good, whenever you made that statement, Jeff. As county commissioners, each and every one of you are elected by the voters, which pay taxes. All right, now, as far as the commissioners go, don't you feel like, because this is something that's coming out there now too, don't you feel like that the salaries that you're drawing, that you need to spend more than 1 day in the office?
We do.
Where it used to be 2 and 3 days.
We do. It's a matter of what you do when you're here, Charlie. And we do have many committee meetings, I go to at least 5 or 6 committee meetings. And-
But are they scheduled, that's true, Mike,
Yes.
but are they scheduled commissioners' meetings? No.
But-
You've got it specified as 1 day a week, Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday morning workshop.
Well, they're workshops.
Yes,
That's,
sir.
but don't you feel like with the salaries that you're drawing, that you should spend at least 2 days a week in office?
Well, the nice thing about technology with cell phones and we're out in public, I mean, we're on duty 24/7, and we're getting calls weekends, evenings and nights, so we're always on duty. So
But
it's not-
that's not taking care of business, Jeff. That's not taking care of business. Like, I feel like that if this was addressed, this problem that has came about, and you were on the site, it wouldn't have blossomed like it has. I mean, for the, and I guess that's one thing that a lot of people are talking about is the wages that you're drawing, and you want to spend 1 day a week in office. Then, at the same time, you want to hire a county coordinator to take care of stuff that is actually your business. That's actually your business. You're trying, I mean, you've got 3 elected officials that are the treasurer, the clerk, registered of deeds. Those are all registered, voted positions by the voters in the county. Okay, then when you try to take and put a coordinator in here like you have, you were trying to micromanage. That's all you were trying to do, micromanage, rather than do your job as commissioners.
I tell you, other counties, Jackson County meets once a week, an hour and a half. They make more than we do.
Well-
Brown County makes more than we do, and they meet an hour and a half once a week.
Well, I just met with the Leavenworth County one, and they're in there twice a week, all day.
And how big a county is that?
Well, you know, it's not that much bigger than Accent County, but they're taking care of business. They're actually there wanting to take care of business. That's what,
So what can one commissioner do? I mean, yeah, you're saying we ought to meet more often, so I have no problem coming in here, but I don't care, just sit here and twiddle my thumbs, and that's what's happened in years past. I've seen it.
well,
They
that's,
sit here- they sit here and
that's,
just wait.
that might be true, Mike.
And you take up, in all honesty, you take up, because Pauline has to be here, then the county clerk has to sit here whether we're twiddling our thumbs or not.
But there's a lot of stuff that you could address. There's a lot of stuff, I mean, you've got bills, you've got departments, you've got a lot of stuff that
We
you
should take
could.
care of the bill.
Okay, but why did you do that? Because you had the coordinator's assistant, I believe that's who she is.
But that's what we always did, so you always approve those bills.
Okay, but then the county clerk and treasurer pays the bills. Okay, that was their department. Now, you're wanting to micromanage those heads that were elected to those positions for those jobs.
I don't see where you're going with that.
Then what's the coordinator doing?
who's in charge of human resources, payroll, and accounts payable.
Okay, and who did that before that?
Clerk.
Arrest McKay. There.
So now they took a little responsibility off that office, right?
Well, I don't think they were having that much problems. We never had any, not that I was ever made aware of, there never was the issues that there is today out here. I mean, even with the county attorney. I mean, so,
Were his issues justified?
huh?
Do you know whether his issues were justified?
Pretty much so.
You see it? Because I went down and I went to see for myself why the errors were made, and it was their office that made the errors. The post
Well,
office box, they entered their own post office box. So the bill went the wrong place.
but you're referring to one issue,
Well, there's only two issues.
right?
Yeah, and the other one had to do the same thing about that Walmart got the wrong, credited to the wrong account because it wasn't entered in the system right.
I mean, that, okay. I've got one other.
You gotta go see it. I mean, I wanted to see it for myself, and I went and seen it.
Well, I mean, I talked to Jerry. Jerry talked to me about it, the issue. And, I know if I'd have been him, I'd have been very embarrassed over the deal.
Well, too, I went to get gas one time, my wife, I guess I need to divorce her because she's got to pay my credit card bill.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing, I mean, it's the same issue. I mean, once or twice that happens, as many credit cards as you've got going around, it's not as if it probably hasn't ever happened before.
Okay.
I mean, it's just,
I personally feel that we have too many credit cards. We have the Walmart card, then we have the Visa card. I don't know why we need both of them. That's my personal opinion.
Well, that was set up before we came on.
For our time.
Yeah.
Well, most of that was set up by the departments themselves. So, the county attorney setting up his own, the sheriff setting up his own, et cetera, so.
Then the other thing, and this is, are you in the process then that with building an, EMS type building or emergency services building or something?
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something long-term, as far as, a different site. The current site we have, we lease from Ashton Hospital, and, they have other plans with that building in the future, so at some point, we're gonna have to, build a different facility somewhere else here in the city of Ashton. Primary site.
to service it. There's one, a station that got refurbished at Effingham for one out there, and there'll be two here.
Here in Addison, too?
Actually, might be at least two ambulance stations. excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah, no, just one. But it'll probably have at least three housing and three ambulances, so you have a spare.
And this was something that came up last week when I was here, when Louise was in here and her representative of the committee she's on. Okay. Louise made the statement that her real estate company was the only company licensed to sell resident, or commercial property in the city. And that's not true.
I don't know.
But I just, I just wanted to be brought up that she made the comment that she was the only real estate firm that was in the city of Axton that was licensed to sell commercial, and that's not true. The other two are, so
I thought most of them, when you're registered as a real
Yeah,
estate
yeah.
agent,
So,
I realize they probably got regulations too and stuff.
but, anyway, that's all I have.
Chase?
Said three quick things.
Oh,
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're still smiling.
Still smiling. We're into week 2 and things are still good. Let's see. I know you had one question for me, and then I had 2 updates. One would be Pat just notified me today that we had our supplementary environmental project approved, so we will, as soon as we get the other pieces in place, we'll get that taken care of. But it's approved, we don't have to pay the fines and, cite that we had a civil violation, so that's good news. I got off the phone with Chris Cox from Schwab Eaton about an hour and a half ago that had questions about the C&D landfill use. Since the bed construction project fell through or is put on hiatus, we kind of needed to revisit where our C&D is at in terms of its capacity, and 2 issues really. Are we in position to build another one, because we should be coming up within the next year or 2, be filling up full capacity, and then do we, what options do we have at that point? He has submitted a revised plan, because right now, for many, many reasons, it's a very long story, but right now, our C&D is a daily cover. Every time we get something new, we have to put 1 foot of cover every single day. Because we don't have a stormwater management, we don't have a leachate pond or a reservoir pond. And that eats up your capacity, having to put on cover every single day, really sinks your capacity. So he's put in, to the KDG request to look at us building into our C&D landfill a runoff pond, so that we can go from everyday cover to once every 120 days, or 2,000 tons. And that will extend our landfill a little bit. It's not going to extend it for years, but it will give us some space. And then I've also asked him to come out, and we need to start a new study on what we can do with our C&D landfill, either extending its boundaries, reworking its operations plan, kind of getting us more years so that we can build up a fund to build in a new C&D cell if we're interested in continuing to offer C&D, or if we just shut it permanently. So those are the 2 updates from Schwab Eaton. And then the third issue, was it the 28th? We didn't have somebody at the scale house. I had a pseudo emergency that was relatively last minute, and Stacy also had plans for Saturday, so we didn't open our scale house, and that happened twice this year. I know you guys had questions about that, so I'll just open it up from there.
Can we go on like a rotating system, either that or get some part-time help, because we need to have somebody there at scale all the time. I mean, you work one Saturday, then you're off next Saturday, and you take off Monday, or is there any way that we could make sure that there's somebody gonna be at the scale house on Saturday?
I have, through this year, I've put in for 2 Saturdays that I could not work well in advance, and we had those covered, and then the other 2 were, unfortunately, wedding related, but those are the only 2 last minute things that I can foresee for me being there on Saturday. It's only happened twice. I think our staffing is adequate, especially now that we're already seeing a drop off in terms of daily traffic and tonnage. I mean, we're starting to scale back, so whether or not that means somebody can take a day off during the week and they come in on Saturday, or I think we're adequately staffed. It's just one of those 2 things, and there was an instance where I had to go to Effingham on Saturday, so I had to close the scale house and go to Effingham, and that was about an hour of downtime. And I know that it is kind of confusing when people come out on Saturday, and we keep keep telling them, come across the scales, and then the scale is closed, that causes some confusion. And also, when we're closed, we do not capture about $300 in tipping fee revenue. Because we have two, Martin's Packers come in, Bay, Holland comes in twice, and various contractors come in. So, it does represent about a half trailer's worth of lost, revenue that we don't capture by not having the scale open. So, it is worth being there.
Well, I think more so than that, man, I hauled some trash last Saturday, and it cost me $10. And then somebody else comes in, they get charged, and that's how that all starts. So we gotta make sure that scale's open.
The other, thing that can happen is cross-training. I can see if the other operators, if they can be on an on-call short notice and come in for 2-3 hours and get all the haulers to show up at the same time instead of whenever they please.
Would it help if we, and I know that people never like it, but take no C&D on Saturdays, because isn't that where the trouble lies? It takes one person away from that and to go down there and dump them.
I think it's just CDs twice a week.
We accept demolitions twice a week, because those are large quantity. C&D is Monday through Saturday. And they're small quantity generators, it's about a trailer load, not that big of an issue. Right now, we just section off an area for that day's volume, and then we tell everybody that comes in, dump right there, back all the way as far as you can into the designated area. And on Saturdays, we don't have somebody assist them, and typically,
We don't have any.
no, we don't.
Oh, maybe you did, okay.
We do have occasionally when we'll fill up the floor and we'll go, the operator will go, check on the C&D and also go check on the burn pile, make sure it's managed with the backhoe. But that's only 2 or 3 times during the entire duration of Saturday. So we don't get a lot on a non-demolition day. So we could, but is it cost effective is really, do we pay that entire day's worth of salaries for 1 or 2 instances? And seeing as how for the next 2 or 3 months we'll continue to operate as normal, and then once it starts getting cold, we'll pretty much drop off in terms of C&D other than tear down. So, but we are, the 2 things that we can do is cross-training and just have better communication. My 2 instances were kind of, I was notified on a Friday that I needed to come in on Saturday, or go to Kansas City on Saturday, and by that point, you know, if I had cross-trained somebody, then that wouldn't have been that big of an issue, and that may be what needs to happen, so. But as of right now, like I said, we're already starting to see a drop-off in volume and tonnage, and now we can, as the staff can start focusing on more facility improvements. We can start paying attention to, improving our scale house and making all the repairs and things of that sort, because we're not real, we're past our busiest months where we had to focus on strictly trash and C&D, so.
So you just, typically 2 people on duty on Saturdays, is that what you're doing, or?
Yes, 1 in the scale house, 1 on the tipping floor, and that's every day. And then Tuesday through Friday, when we have our more consistent volume, we'll have 2 operators, 1 person in the scale house, and then myself, basically being an operator plus whatever paperwork needs to be done. So, and, we'll just continue to, see if we can do more cost control and with less, I mean, you saw the drop off or the difference between last year, or what was projected for this budget, or what was budgeted for this year, and then what the year-end projections is. Because getting by with 2 less people is significant cost savings. And byproduct, we're busier. We have people on the floor constantly. I haven't mandated it, but it almost has become common practice, that we help people instead of sitting on those chairs over by the opening and watching people throw their trash in, because that doesn't go over well with the public, as it should. But, with less people, we know we have to be busy, we have to look busy, we have to be busy, so I'd actually prefer to keep staffing where it is right now, because we constantly have something to do. And if nothing else, for appearance's sake, that's a good thing, that we always look like. we're
Well, you
doing
can't,
stuff.
and it's hard, I mean, it's like anything, it's hard to, people don't have appointments to come out there and dump trash. I mean, you could be busy for 2 hours and then sit there for an hour before you, I mean, it's, you just, when you're open for service, I mean, even McDonald's is the same way. I mean, it's hard to be exact,
Right.
because everybody makes an appointment, so.
Well, like they say in most every kitchen in America, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. So we're looking busy, we're sweeping, we're spraying stuff down, we're doing, cosmetic stuff for the facility. We've made it a point of emphasis to look busy, if nothing else, so that people can't really complain about us sitting on our teachers doing nothing. Because that has been a complaint in the past, so.
You had 2 more people.
Well, 5 years ago, we had 8 people out there.
I know. So when I went to Brown County and seen that they was running theirs with 3 people, that convinced me that we were definitely overstaffed.
Yeah. No, of course.
And they actually handle more trash than we do, because they get, that's changed, they get Richardson County.
From Nebraska.
All city, they get quite a bit out. They don't have a landfill, they come down to Brown County, pay deputy.
We should talk to Buchanan. So those are the only 3 things that I had. I need to get more clarity on our C&D situation. We'll have I don't know if we just submit the 5-year management plan as it is right now, and then when material changes are needed to be made, we just kind of make them, as needed, because I'm not gonna be able to get everything updated by the end of the month, so it will have to be.
We do it like an annual addendum, or
What happens is you do a 5-year plan, and that's supposed to be your 5-year outlook with projections and everything, changes to the system, and then every year you make your changes, you do your 1-year updates. So, as a community, and as a commission, so, I think we're just gonna submit it with what we have right now, and then when things change, we'll just put it on next year, because that C&D is gonna be quite a process.
I did bring it up to Wes about that double payment to Temple Log, and I asked if it had been corrected yet. He didn't know he was gonna talk to you about it.
It had been credited to the right account.
Oh, it's taken care of.
To my knowledge, it's what it shows on our account statement.
It just apparently, recyclable account got the big payment, it should have went to the other one.
Right.
And I couldn't see why that wouldn't
Oh.
go into the journal entries all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't hurt their books, balance.
No, unless we want to prepay up for
Yeah.
the next 2 years in recycling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, they kind of thought it out too, but that's pretty much taken care of. We're still getting through finding stuff in the general fund that should be put in charged to, or credited to our account, in the 202 solid waste fund, so. Yeah, very shortly we should be all caught up.
Well, it'll help you as far as gives you the true picture of your budget and where you are and planning your budget. And, that, probably got 2, 3 more questions. 2 of them are kind of personal. What do you do, where do you put fluorescent lights? Do they go into general trash, or can they surely can't go in the glass?
No, they can't go in the glass. The fluorescent light bulbs are kind of a gray area because the KDG would like us to separate them out as household hazardous waste because the filaments or the powders
Right.
potentially poisonous or toxic. But we do have, with Deffenbaugh, they have a household hazardous waste landfill. We can put almost anything that's non-radioactive in there, and it's not gonna be an issue. So, I mean,
We get a lot of radioactive stuff.
not to my knowledge, but we don't have a battery counter
Maybe
on
we got
site.
my uranium over here or something.
People that have brought bottles of mercury to clean up that pool.
Mm.
Stranger things have happened.
We've had,
That's,
we had a box full of thermometers that we had to put over to the side. We also had asbestos. So,
What do you do if like a private hauler comes in and somebody slips in a bunch of paint and he doesn't see it? They wanna get that, you have to separate that out?
we do separate it out. Again, paint is where you're gonna get most of your household hazardous waste costs. Paint is not, it's very bulky, it's very heavy, and it's the reason we pay about $5 grand a quarter when, I mean, semi-gloss can go in the trash. It really can.
Well, I was told if you just open the bins and
Let it dry.
and then it becomes solid waste.
there's a, I don't know if there was a brochure in the magazine from Kansas Correction Services, and they do stuff with like, they sell a bunch of like paint. I don't know if they would be interested in buying, it was in the main packet, but Kansas Correction Services, they sell a lot of road paint and.
The two things that, we do wanna look into taking paint cans that are still usable, set them off to the side and see if, not-for-profit organizations can use paint for, anything, really, because if we can reuse it, why not? Or, just have it processed as household hazardous waste, or throw it in the trash. Those are our three options. Obviously, the most cost-effective one is just throw it in the trash, but, now that we have our household hazardous waste permit, the KHE frowns on that a little bit, but it's not a major issue, and it's a heavy item, so that's why I said it's kind of a gray area. If we wanted to be cost effective, we wouldn't worry about it, just throw it in the trash, but,
Well, I'm bringing you 2 or 3 parcels that are just more foreign chemicals for household hazardous waste. Otherwise, we'll just put fluorescent lights too,
mhm.
Okay.
And then I did call, Dennis Shaw from, the Big Lakes region.
Oh, yeah, he had talked to us out at, we were in Riley County, that was the one with that big lake, and, well, yeah,
Peterson?
yeah, Gary Gensler works with, this is the one that, this guy, yeah, the guy, the one from Riley County was the one that was kind of, I don't know, Gary still does stuff with it, I think, he said, to talk to this guy.
He said that if we're interested, we need to look into our interlocal agreement for the Northeast Kansas region, see if there's any stipulations for length that we have to be in. I know Brown County opted out, so.
Yeah, they're not even taking, they're not even taking down stuff over there.
Yeah, Mr. Pearson said that KHE is not exactly happy with Brown County right now. Yeah, that probably was not a good move on their part, but, and then the next step is he'd come out and look at our facilities, look over our household hazardous waste plan, see what we wanted to do, participate as a satellite or a staging area, depot, things of that. But he said off the top, going from a region of 3 counties to a region of 10 counties, you're gonna see some cost savings in household hazardous waste. He doesn't know how much because he didn't have the particulars, but, we'll be looking for our, medical agreement, starting that process up as well, see if we can cut some of those costs. It'd be great if Jackson County can join too, because we kind of be a remote county to that region, so.
I talked with 2 of them around at KCCA meeting for just briefly, I just asked them where they're at with that.
Jackson County?
Yeah, I think they were talking
effectiveness or increase in services, things of that sort, we can go forward if we want to go in an interlocal agreement with the Big Lakes region. So,
When you're, I only have one other concern, when you start working on your budget, I still want you to be looking at what the tipping fee you're estimating, because I think we're gonna have a shortfall in your estimate. You're gonna have enough savings, don't get me wrong, in the budget, but I think as we go ahead and start tightening the expenditures and stuff, hopefully you'll have enough data that you'll have a pretty good idea of what the estimated tipping fees are gonna be. I mean, it looks to me like that we're, you know, I think I got 5 months there, that we were at $80,000, somewhere in there.
For 6 months, we're at 109 with 79,000 collected. Our shortfall is, I mean, frankly, it's because the city of Atchison pays $12.50 a ton. If they pay the full, then we would have absolutely no issues. So that is something to consider, is whether or not they trade sales tax or tipping fee or something. I would prefer tipping fee over sales tax, because that's just, they bring it in, they pay for it. There's no argument there. So, yeah, I mean, it's one way, half dozen the other, except we get a.
Well, that was my only concern. I was looking over the budget here and stuff, and there was something that we needed to make sure that aligns, and I'm sure you guys will be addressing that when you guys meet and before we put the budget together, and or if we have a county summer, this will all kind of, you know, come out and play out, because, you know, $100,000 here, $100,000 there can add up.
It definitely can. The only thing that would move the tipping fee amount one way or the other is what our basic cost per ton is, and as of right now, Deckenball hasn't given us any notice that they're gonna go away from the $30.90.
Well, no, it's still in the contract, it goes up 3% each year.
They have the option to, based on this tied to CPI, and consumer price index is only on at 1.9%.
I thought the contract, that each year.
No, there is a limit to it, and they have to give us 90 days notice prior to the end of each year.
Waste management.
No, well, and, I mean, it's one of the first ones that we've actually tied, for the solid waste department. Increases have to be tied to CPI, there has to be a need to increase. So as of right now, they haven't had any indication that $30.90 is our base rate. For the first 5 months, we averaged 63 cents in fuel surcharge. The last 2 months, we've seen a spike, at about $1.23. So, that might be worth a call, just to see what kind of, what caused that. Because at 34, if we rounded it at 31 and then tacked on those 2 months where we had a fuel surcharge spike, $34 still covers our costs, but that leftover margin is cut into. So if we get a guarantee on the fuel surcharge, then
It's gonna be related to like national standard average, or, you know, fuel did spike there for a while, and that's what.
it did.
Yeah, diesel fuel hasn't changed as much as gasoline, diesel fuel seems to hold in there.
Right, and with our base of $3.84, that's a pretty good threshold of our base rate. So, I would just assume that $34 for 2015, and then as we see how that affects our usage, and then see what Deckenball wants to do in terms of contracts. Then we can higher and lower it as need be, so.
Talking about what, the tipping?
Our tipping fee, actually, the county's tipping
Oh, so
fee.
you're thinking about you might be able to lower it up?
Um,
You're saying you said 34, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, that was just a mistake, 35. It, right now, I wouldn't advise it, just because it's constant for 2015 and then.
Yeah, it's still lower than anywhere around us as far as it goes. The other question, though, has Martin's or anything saying to you about, I mean, that they, I know they're always a little bit slow or shy about coming around, but I know that the tipping fee is affecting some of their, it's their choice, and it's some of the individual haulers, the individual consumers who's getting hit with that tipping fee, because they chose to have somebody haul their, and Martin can't differentiate between what is, residential versus, business trash, because I know the tipping fee basically, I understand, was to help cover the businesses that don't pay very much as sales tax, and that was to kind of cover that, but there are individual consumers who are being hit, of course, with the tipping fee and hauling fee too, so. Yeah, I think that's really, I just didn't know whether they,
I haven't really heard anything on that end.
and some of them finally found it, well, just hold on, so that's
That's, well, that's going back to your, everybody take care of their own stuff,
exactly.
so. If I hear anything, I'll let you guys know.
And we'll have to, was we gonna say the, don't have,
December 31st is when the Effingham contract expires, and we will probably in October have an RFP sent out so that we can rebid it. So,
I have two quick questions. One is, is there any more damage on Mr. Martin's containers? And two, have you given any more thought about us hauling our own trash, would there be a cost savings there?
I haven't heard anything about damage to containers. When you mentioned it, I went out to Effingham, took photos and time logged it and made sure that if those are our containers, that we keep track of any damage. I haven't heard anything since. And then for hauling, really we pay about, what I projected for 2015 is that we pay about $17,500 in Martin's contract for just the Effingham station to haul it back and forth. Well, no, well.
You'd have to add an employee, add a truck.
Add an employee, add a truck, add liabilities, add fuel. The ROI would probably be past the length of the contract.
It would be something we'd probably do with the RFP, if you want to suggest.
Do what with the
Test, run a scenario if.
put it in our own bid?
If you're gonna do that, you probably would look at doing the hauling clear the landfills too. But, when I talked to Matt about it earlier, it seemed like there would be a lot of upfront investment in equipment. To get it.
Well, if we're gonna haul it ourselves, you'd have to purchase the equipment, that's what you just said, right?
Right, and
That'd be the time, if you're gonna do an RFP, that'd probably be the time to run.
That was something that we may have to address someday, but if we got Martin's doing it for $17,500, I don't think we're gonna get it.
well,
Yeah.
it could be something that we look at for the Devonbach contract that expires in 2018. We could also put together our own bid and put that as a proposal as well as put it to market. It's possible. I mean, if you included the hauling services from here to Johnson County as well as Effingham, again, you're gonna have to pay for a brand new semi and a brand new roll-off truck and personnel and all that.
well, you're gonna have to have at least 2 or 3 big trucks.
So,
One truck and probably 2 or 3 trailers.
at least 2 or 3 trailers.
Yeah, you're minimum 3, I'd think.
We have 3 on site at all times, so if we had one person doing the round robin the whole time, I think we could get away with 3 of those again. They're like $20,000 a piece. So, I can put it together. it's always worth it. Put together, see if we can handle it in-house. So,
Name March, just a big one, 18.
Okay.
okay. Alright, thank you.
And get back to you, you guys got a probably committee meeting set up yet?
Right.
Not yet. Next week is the tentative schedule. The two things that we want to get done with that committee meeting is the management plan, which will be complete, but it will be what we'll send to the state for our requirement, and then, I guess, start discussions on our joint communications solid waste budget, because you can't have a discussion with one without the other, so.
Well, somewhat, I mean, you guys can kind of, you kind of know what your operating costs are gonna be and stuff, and then, you know, the additional joint communications request is over and above, I mean, I mean, how do I back all of this? With some of the savings that we've implemented over and above what we budgeted for this year, some of that sales tax money can actually, if they decide to go with the new radio system, can be deferred and used there. So, I mean,
And it's still
that's
being
where you
increased.
guys come into play. I mean, you know, that's the impact that you guys have on that. So, you are part of it, but you are part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's the interlocal agreement, like,
Well, that's the other thing, we need the local agreement.
yeah. We'll, once we get our committee meeting scheduled, I'll attach you guys in that and get the agenda and go from there.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, you have something?
Well, I do have something. This year is one of the bids that I'm needing because I had to do apples to apples and add that. I thought I got back one, but I didn't. Because one was pending an expansion joint to call. We didn't have it in here, so I had to add it to it. And that's the price he gave me. And I thought I'd done that, but I gave you the wrong sheet.
Okay, that was one I could just sign off on earlier.
Right. But it's $160 more because of the apples to apples.
Okay, so we probably need to grab that, I think.
Courtney.
Courtney took it down.
Okay, well, if I get that signed, I'll just, switch it. That's okay.
Yeah, you make sure you.
If you
$4,900.
Yeah, I'll call him, tell him not to pay that shit. That she, you know.
Okay.
Well, I doubt she will, she'll probably just enter in the system, I doubt. But I mean, yeah, he can take it down by too.
Well, the city, I think you have to pay it, so they'll do it.
Oh, we have to prepay it.
Okay. I wasn't sure, Paulie asked me that, I wasn't sure, I didn't have the paper in front of me.
Did you sign the city part of it?
Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
You might check that, I don't remember if I did or not, was it on the, well, there's two different things, the city of Ashland.
We signed two.
It's on the requisition,
And the sheet, as it says, you have to give them,
you might
I
retrieve
don't know
that
if that
from her.
one's from.
Yeah,
How
you might
much
wanna
is
grab that from her.
$4,980.
This is replacing that one, right?
Yeah, the other one's $160 less.
Would you be able to go down and grab that from her, because, I didn't sign that on the city of Ashland sheet. That's our
I'll be back then.
Yeah, I signed on the requisition orders, so.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Who's talking to this thing for, who's been for 3 weeks?
The village. Is all those.
I think they were sitting over there and.
I sent them there and I figured that you would give them sort of a
Hey,
change
we
in the
did.
budget.
Yeah, we did.
I'll take them downstairs.
Yeah, I just notified her, she's got all this here.
Pat, no part we got, I'm guessing that you probably ought to resend an email to those cities and say the county summits just don't hold until we, it appeared to be first part of August or something.
Maybe that last,
Or it could be, it could be.
last week of July.
We can make it together. We'll give the solid waste committee time to meet and come up with a budget, and we kind of know, we know a little bit more where we're at. Joint communications needs to meet, and refine, rehash over their, that radio thing.
Yeah.
And kind of be like Jack said, there's some cuts they can make or changes they can make before we make the final presentation. So we might, if we do it, we do it right, and not have to.
Pat, can we discuss Jace Shimmerside's bill and open, or does that need to be executive?
Needs to be an executive session, client.
10 minutes to do that, maybe.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask for an executive session to attorney-client, is that what you said? Attorney-client.
Okay.
Let's say 10, let's go 20 minutes, because we always add and add and add. Let's go 20 minutes.
KSA 75 plus 4319
So we got it.
B2.
35?
Yep.
335?
335.
Motion, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
I'd get on him and then definitely.
Sorry, he was traveling across the state doing a lot of classes, so he was gonna try and send me at least 3 to 5, maybe, job descriptions. Anything from Racket? No, there's a letter from
Yeah, that's,
Pat.
that was original, so yeah.
I haven't seen anything, he sent, I think Pat sent it written. So, I haven't seen anything.
We haven't figured it out.
Are we sure that?
What, was Spider gonna, did he mention he would come up or not, or?
He's supposed to call me tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Very much.
Yeah, tell him we'd like for him to come, and he could come up tomorrow afternoon, if he lives out in Hayfield, he could come up tomorrow afternoon and work there if he wanted to. We got, I guess we got more Hall's budget thing, we didn't meet that.
We got one right now?
Yeah, it was handed out today. It's their financial report. See it? Yeah, cover letter. Yeah.
Okay. The reclamation inquired if we had an older tractor, we were thinking about selling or liquidating or something like that, if we could get a hold of, I can remember if we
Who
did,
did?
that, the board, well, not the recreation, but the
Oh, you're-
ballpark,
Okay.
they were inquiring if we had a tractor, an older tractor, something like that, we were looking at maybe getting rid of it, if we could, give them a tractor. I couldn't remember if we did or not. Somebody said something about getting rid of the solid waste or.
There ain't no tractors out there, the only tractor, I think Road and Bridge has, but it's a fairly good sized tractor, and then, but there's a smaller tractor yet, that the county lake has,
Okay.
but they use it for working on blades.
I thought there was something at the solid waste.
Dirt way.
No, not that.
Oh, I don't think, I don't.
Okay, I thought there was, I couldn't remember, it seemed like we
I
had.
can't think of what they needed tractors for. I think they got this on the inventory, they got a tractor mower, but it's,
Okay.
it's a kind of a large riding lawnmower is what I call it.
Okay.
Waiting on the ways, we got a preliminary joint communication, county commission, budget, general administration, county attorney, and fair. That's what I had listed. We do have to remember that, new project, we're making, commit 10,000 to, what do we call that? The one where the innovative center is gonna be, what's that called?
Yeah, that's their MOCAN, do that grant.
You mean the Northeast Kansas? No, that's in.
No, this is,
Lab or something.
Yeah,
we're talking about the lab, that grant that they're trying to see, yeah. That would be going, MOCAN, we're trying to go through MOCAN as the grant administrator.
Well, didn't we commit to that, but they also have to come up with the other funding before we actually had to write a check?
Yeah, but
Correct.
you better have a budget.
He's saying you should just plan for that study side, so yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're still going forward, I think the submittal to that is now October.
I think, I'm just figuring how we need to label so we make sure we get into the budget, so if they do go forward, if you've got it in the budget, you don't have to pull it out of something else.
And I told the RS Association they were supposed to, a while back about coming up, but I haven't seen them come in.
Happy Hearts hasn't come up either.
Okay. Didn't I give you,
There's some in our
Was
packet.
there one in Happy Hearts?
Yeah.
There was a letter or something, wasn't there? I thought I seen it in here.
No, that's the childcare.
Oh, well, let me go downstairs.
Childcare and kneecap, I saw.
I thought it was in area agency.
Yeah.
Area, agency.
Yep, we got them.
Okay, let me go downstairs. I thought there was a,
Kneecap,
We denied a lot of money.
kneecap.
Happy Hearts is on your line.
Yeah, that's according to what I see here.
One thing might be a stretch.
Juneteenth.
Yeah, we only give them like 500. They had said something maybe like earlier this year, but I haven't seen them come up. I told them that if you want to inquire, you have to come up and request. But I haven't seen or heard anything come up.
That was a pretty nice event.
They're talking about moving it downtown maybe. It's like the only free event, I guess, in the United States that they do like that, so. Okay, that's last year, and they said about, inquired about more, and I said, we need to, come up and request.
I've got about 12 or 15 of them in here, I can just about rubber stamp. Move on.
Yeah, I think the ones that, sounds to take a lot of time, is our two are the sheriff's department, which I'd be the ones that take longer than to do, and the rest of it, you know.
I found 2 errors in the road bridge. Yeah, that project out on the Fairlawn Road, it's the eastern guy, 80/20, should be 90/10s or $70,000 right there, so you, and then,
Price of
and then when he printed out his wage scale, he put his old wage, he didn't, when he converted him to total road bridge, he had his old They sent you something, had they sent you something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it was in his folder.
We asked for the books a lot, what do we do about that?
Let's don't give them any money. What's that?
They don't send us a flyer, so we can request,
I guess you handle it on a case-by-case basis.
Case by case. Depends on what the dollar amount is. Some of these are
Yeah, some I'm not sure how they were got.
well, we just,
Child care
we
stuff.
just don't get out of it, getting long enough period.
Not really,
Really
public service.
We
I'm not
don't-
saying they don't do good things, it's just,
Yeah.
it's like puzzling,
Go through.
huh?
I mean, in a sense, it's a school investment.
That's what I kind of think of it.
They can
Then,
see what she's got, I see what she's got on here for too long.
okay, so here's Kathy.
I need to go to the county attorney's office for a little bit, I'll straighten out what to say for it.
Now, I can get his budget down here. Well, I remember seeing it last year, it just said county attorney on it, we had, I got it in my file, in fact.
I'll mention it.
No,
Oh, we got it, thank God, it didn't matter what it was. Proof of, they have to come out of these, they have to put the figures of fuel, propane, cigarette wires, and.
Happy Hearts, we get 3,300 last year.
Yep.
What is it for this year?
Same.
They seem like a decent group.
Yeah, Bill Murphy happens to be on the board, he's like that, he's last year, so he got out, he thought it was a very wonderful program. I mean, it's, kinda helping, it's almost like helping people get their GED.
Yeah,
So,
get back on their feet.
Yeah, get them back on their feet. Anytime you do that, I have no problem with that.
Also, that's my own people on it.
Yep.
See, they're building up pretty good.
Memorial Hall, I know you,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, I moved.
Motion and a second. Motion, Mike.
Mike,
Second, Bill. All in favor, signify by saying